Hello, it is Tuesday the 12th of February and we're here to do another Facebook Live that focuses on back pain. So my name's Amanda Heath from My Pilates Trainer, and over the last few weeks I've been doing Facebook Lives on Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays with lots of helpful hints and tips on how you can preserve your back and minimise the amount of pain that you're in, and also if you are in back pain, how to help you recover as quickly and as safely as possible. First of all, I'm really sorry because I missed yesterday's Facebook Live. I wasn't feeling very well at all. I'm much better today, still not 100%, but definitely a lot better. So I felt able to come on and do the Facebook Live today. But what it does mean is that today we're going to have a double episode of Facebook Live. So yesterday, what we had scheduled was the 3 worst exercises that you can do for back pain. So the three things that you absolutely avoid at all costs if you want the back pain to go away, or if you don't want to get back pain, further down the line. So obviously we missed that, so I'm going to do that first of all today, but then we're also going to do today's Facebook Live, which is the 3 best hamstring stretches. So the hamstrings are the muscles at the back of your legs, and a lot of people know that if they have tight hamstrings it can cause back pain, and they know there's an involvement with the hamstrings and back pain, but they're not quite sure what to do. And quite often at the studio I can see people doing hamstring stretches that are really going to make their back issues a lot worse. So we're going to cover that as well. So it's a biggie today, lots and lots of information. And I've finally managed to get some of these Facebook Lives onto the vlog section of the website. So if you go to mypilatestrainer.co.uk/vlogs, you'll see these Facebook Lives listed on there. So if ever you miss one, you're in a meeting or out for lunch or anything and you can't make it live, then pop over to the website and have a look at the vlogs. And whilst you're there, if you find some of these hints and tips useful, then please sign up to the email newsletter, because lots more valuable content comes through via the email as well. So let's get started. So the 3 worst exercises for back pain. Number 1 is crunches. Now you might think, well, hang on a minute, I thought if I had back pain I should strengthen my abs, and that is absolutely correct. The abdominals do have a vital role to play in back pain. So does the pelvic floor, so does the back itself, and so do the bottom muscles, the glutes. But one of the worst things you can do is to do a crunch. There are 2 reasons for that. The first is a lot of people don't do crunches correctly. So when they do a sit-up, and you can see this quite often if you go to the gym or just watch people exercising, then people do a sit-up, and what they do is they try and come up as high as possible. Hi Darren, I'm here. I finally made it today. Not so great yesterday, but so we're having a double Facebook Live today. First bit is about the 3 worst back pain exercises, or the 3 things you shouldn't do if you have back pain. And the second half is about hamstrings, the muscles at the back of your legs. So I know, Darren, you are a cyclist, so that one will probably be really beneficial for you. So stay tuned in for that. So where was I? Crunches. Okay, if you do a crunch and you do it incorrectly, what happens is the abdominals dome. So look at somebody the next time you can see them doing crunches, and can you see the center section of their abdominals here, this kind of 6-pack area, protruding upwards? Okay, if it is, what's happening is you're losing control of the very deep abdominal, the one that we want, transversus. Remember, it wraps around like a belt. And the top layers of the abdominals, the rectus abdominis, they're taking over. Now, that's not great for your back, because transversus, the kind of corset muscle, if you like, attaches onto the spine and it holds it nice and secure and can really act as that, as I said, internal corset. So if that switches off and you use the ones at the top, then fine, yeah, you may end up getting a 6-pack, with the right diet, etc. But it's only strong on the outside, it's still mush on the inside, so it's no use to prevent back pain. So I'll just show you. So here you lay down, and it can cause neck pain as well, a bad crunch, because a lot of people come up and they'll leave the head behind, and that can cause a lot of neck issues. So what should we do? Ideally, like I said, we're going to miss out crunches altogether, and I'll give you some alternatives. But a correct crunch involves a chest lift rather than a crunch. It involves a slight chin nod. Draw in those abdominals so they're nice and flat and pulled in, and then just lift the head, chest and shoulders off and then go back down. But as I said, if you have back pain, just for now, avoid crunches altogether. There are so many things you can do that strengthen the abdominals in a safe way without damaging the back. Now, I mentioned there were two things about crunches. Remember this little model. If you crunch, you can compress and cause that disc to bulge, okay? Especially if you're not recruiting the right abdominal muscles. And what I'll do in another Facebook Live is I will show you how to find the correct abdominals that you should be using to protect the spine and not rely on the outside ones. So, you know, I've said no crunches, but you might think, well, that's great. What do I do instead? If you want to strengthen your abdominals, in fact, let's start with 2 legs down. You can, at a very basic level, you can just do knee floats. You can also do leg extensions, and can you see here my spine is still in what we call a neutral position, okay? Once you get a bit stronger and you're able to maintain this neutral position and lift both legs up, and by that I mean not arch the back or let the tummy muscles dome, then you can start doing things like toe taps and leg extensions with the other leg in the air. Now, both of those will help strengthen the tummy muscles, but they won't jeopardize the back, the spine. They'll help you really strengthen and stabilize things as long as you prevent those abdominals from doming and you keep the back nice and still, so there's none of kind of this movement in the process. So that's number 1 no exercise, a crunch or a sit-up, for those 2 reasons. The second one is a double leg lift, and this is just crazy. Basically, I see people training, you know, they can have bad backs, they may go to a certain type of class, and the instructor who is trying to push them says, you know, you need to strengthen your abs, you know, you've got a bad back, so we're going to do a double leg lift and float both legs off the floor. And by that I mean this kind of movement, okay, where both legs are floating off the floor. Now, anybody with back pain who tries to do that movement, you will soon realise that is not a good feeling at all, and it really jeopardises the back. And all of these have a similar vein in terms of why they're not good, because they just load the spine. If you have a bad back, pain is a symptom that there is something wrong. Your back is trying to tell you, hang on a minute, I'm a little bit out of line. It's usually posture related. It's saying, hang on, I'm out of line, please can you help by, you know, realigning me, getting me straight. And you go, no, I'm going to help by strengthening the abdominals and lifting both legs into the air. And what that does is it just puts the back under more pressure when it's already really struggling. So second one, double leg lift, an absolute no-no. You can just do single leg lifts, as we were just talking about earlier, so lying on the back. You can extend one leg up into the air and you can just lower it down straight, making sure, as I said, nothing at all moves here. Especially when the leg comes up, don't try and get it so high that you tuck the bottom under, okay? So it's just a neutral spine the whole time, and by that I mean you could balance a cup and saucer right here and it wouldn't tip or spill in any direction. So that is double leg lift, exercise number 2 to avoid at all costs. The last one is touching the toes. Now, I understand why people do this is because they have a tight lower back, so they think, oh, you know, I'm going to go forward. You know, some people are here, it doesn't matter where you are, or down here. The problem is, again, we're loading the spine, and very often people do that without pulling the tummy muscles in. So you've got all that extra weight bending over the weight of your head, the weight of your body, and you're opening up that space between the vertebrae for that disc to come out, and it doesn't do anything. Yes, you need to have flexible hamstrings to have a nice healthy back, but I'm going to show you in the second half of this Facebook Live how you can stretch the hamstrings safely without overstretching the back and increasing the amount of load that's going through the spine, because we discovered the other day that even sitting increases the load on the discs in the back by 300%. Now, if you imagine taking the head over and the upper body, etc., etc., and not drawing the tummy muscles in, that must increase the load by, gosh, I don't know how many 100%. But again, that's not good. So as I said, I'm going to show you in a second how to stretch the hamstrings safely, but those are my 3 exercises to avoid. Sit-ups, crunches, double leg lift where you hover the legs off the mat, it's just too much strain and too much load on the back, and then bending over forwards to touch the toes. Again, it's opening the back up, it's weakening the back, and yes, you might be stretching the hamstrings, but in the process you're really going to put your back at risk. And as I said, we only get one spine, so the purpose of these videos is just to really help you look after it and learn what to do and what not to do. So if that was useful, please share. I know a couple of you have been sharing already, and it's really lovely of you, just to help get the message out really, and to let people know that back pain does not have to be a scary thing. A lot of people think, oh gosh, when I've got back pain, that's it, it's over. My back will never be the same again and I'm on a downwards spiral. And it's just simply not true. With some really basic, gentle realignment exercises, you can sort your back pain in the majority of cases. People are often really surprised at the studio at just how easy it is to sort out their back issues. So don't be fearful of back pain, but do learn the right and the wrong way of dealing with treatment, basically with improving the symptoms.